What's up, y'all? Welcome back to the channel. Third video of the day. I'm trying to get them done for y'all while I have the time, but I want to go over 5 things I wish I did different when building my 2021 Chevrolet Silverado. Beautiful day, just got a ride done. Had to cancel because the weather was looking a little iffy, but 5 things I wish I did different. If you're new to the channel, welcome. If you're coming back, welcome back. This is a 2021 Chevy Silverado Custom Trail Boss, and obviously there are a couple things done to it. Built it out pretty much immediately with about 100 miles on it, and I'm going to go over 5 things if I had an unlimited budget that I wish I would have done different, or even at this point that I could have done different. So let's go ahead and start with number 1. Number 1 is a different lift kit. I have raved about this lift kit. I do like it a lot. It hasn't given me any issues. This is the ReadyLift 2-inch SST kit for Trail Boss and AT4. Gives you new upper control arms, spacers in the front, and then new blocks in the rear, netting you a 4-inch lift on these trucks. And I love it. It hasn't done anything bad for me. But in hindsight, I wish I would have gone with an Icon or maybe something, a coilover kit, or just gone straight for the 4-inch kit and gone straight up to 6-inch on the truck. Reason being, I do take this truck off-road a lot, and a coilover kit just would have been more performance oriented than this kit. Once again, hasn't done anything bad for me, or just going with the big boy lift and getting the 6-inch kit, because there's a high chance that happens at some point in this truck's life, go all the way up to a 6-inch kit. But that's number 1. If I could go back, I would go with a different lift kit. Not saying this one's bad, but if I could, I would. Number 2 on the truck is smaller wheels. So these are 20-inch wheels, and there's a lot of reasons that they're on the truck. Number 1, I had 20-inch wheels on the black truck, and I wanted to keep my tires because they were pretty new. Number 2, it was my understanding when I got the ReadyLift kit that you had to run 20s. In hindsight, and I went over this in a different video, you don't have to. You just have to watch your clearances on the upper control arms and yada yada yada. If I went with a different kit, the 6-inch kit, well, 4-inch kit, netting the 6-inch lift, I think you still run into the same issues with the rough country. But if I went with an Icon or a coilover kit that's not this tall, then I could definitely run smaller wheels more easily. But I mean, for an off-road rig, 20s aren't really the way to go. I would much rather be running 17-inch wheels, although I am running 35s. But if you run 35s on 17s, you're a lot better off-road. So once again, I picked these wheels out. I ordered them. I love them. I think they look good. I just wish they were 3 inches smaller in diameter. Could have gone with some methods or different fuels, but that's the second thing I would change if I could. Obviously, I can change all these things, but going back to the start, as it stands now, I wish I had smaller wheels. Number 3 is under the hood here, and we're going to talk about the cold air intake. Once again, I love the cold air intake. I put it on the black truck. It's awesome. It sounds good, but for being off-road and all that stuff, you can see I switched over to a dry filter. I think it would be more advantageous to have a closed box design and or just the stock air box, but it doesn't add much to the truck other than engine growl when I'm driving, and you know, the performance is negligible. People say, oh, the throttle response, etc., etc. You're not really going to tell if you did a blind test back to back. I'd venture to say on a full-size truck you wouldn't be able to tell. So they are good for breathability for the engine. Obviously I went dry, but you can see how dirty it is already. Closed box for being in dusty environments. I mean, look at this, you can see she gets dirty. Closed box at the very least on the cold air intake. May change it out at some point, but I had this on the black truck, therefore it came onto this truck, and we're rolling with it. We'll see what other options there are, but at one point we may end up putting a closed box intake on this truck just to keep her a little bit more healthy. We'll see. Number 4, we're going to talk about my windows here. So this is 5% tint all around, and it's 5% stacked on top of the factory tint in the back. So these windows are absolutely freaking dark. And once again, while it does look really good, driving at nighttime is just straight up dangerous. And there's some times where I look at the truck and the window is completely blacked out that I wish you could at least see through it a little bit, because it just looks like a black freaking painted window. So I may have wanted to go 10 or 15%. We can always change that once again, but you know, taking it to the tint shop, I thought I was going to do 10 or 15, and I just said screw it, we're going 5%, which was a little extreme, if you would. So from the interior here, this is accentuated on the GoPro, and I'll kind of try and get both sides in here, but it's dark on the GoPro. It doesn't like filming inside the truck, and you can see these things are dark. I can't see out the back window at all at nighttime. So if it's raining, snowing, and my backup camera is all mucked up, I have to roll the windows down to see my side view mirrors, which, as you can see, not good. So yeah, I would definitely go lighter on the tint, not 5%, especially over the factory in the back. Maybe a match, maybe 10%, but we can always change that. But that is number 4. And number 5 has to do with all the crap I have plugged into this truck. I think I'm gonna get a pedal commander for it. So we have the range technology AFM DFM disabler, day 1. Underneath there is the rough country speedometer calibrator, and we're gonna get a pedal commander for it. So I wish I would have just gone straight up with the Pulsar LT, because at this point I have acquired all of those features while spending more money and just plugging a bunch of stuff into the truck. So the Pulsar LT allows you to recalibrate your speedometer, throttle sensitivity, rear axle ratio if you re-gear. Obviously disables the AFM DFM, so it does all the stuff that I've slowly done with different modules. Obviously I'm not shelling out the $600 to start, but it would be nice to just have one module in the engine bay up there. Don't have to plug anything in down there. I wish I would have gone with the Pulsar LT, but once again, I had the AFM DFM disabler from Range in the black truck, so it's a lot of rollover on parts that went into building this truck. It wasn't all fresh orders, fresh ideas, so I am limited by that slightly. So there's 5 things: maybe a different suspension, smaller wheels, different module, you know, the Pulsar LT, lighter windows for sure. But that's not to say that I absolutely love the truck still. These were all my personal choices at one point in time to do these things, and they can always change. They're always subject to change, and we kind of have the means to do that now. So we may see new suspension in the future, may see some new wheels in the future, and I might get the Pulsar, but I think I'll just get the pedal commander and we should be all good. I'll just have those 3 modules. And as always, I'm going to give you all a bonus. I really wish I would have made the dealership do a spray and bed liner before I took ownership. We can see, ooh, bug. I'm just mucking up the tailgate. Once again, it's a truck, but it would be nice to have a spray and bed liner. Obviously I can add that as well. But even unloading the dirt bike, you know, it slips, the front tire slips on the surface. It's really slippery, especially when it's wet. So holding that front brake, trying to get it onto the ramp, sometimes it just slides backwards, and that's not ideal. So I wish I would have made the dealership before I took ownership say, hey, I'm not going to take the truck unless you all spray in a bed liner for me, but I can always get her done. So with the insight I have now into, you know, off-road performance parts and wheels and tires and all that stuff, those are the things that I would change. However, not dogging the truck at all. I think she looks great as it stands. I was riding my motorcycle back and forth past it, and that is just one good looking truck. Obviously that's subjective, I own it. I need to stop saying obviously so much. I noticed that in all the videos, but that is subjective, but I think it looks great. So stay tuned. I'm going to take this list into consideration and see what we want to do in terms of maybe changing the parts up here. Use some money from old rigs to make some changes to the Silverado. And I would venture to say first thing we're going to do, pedal commander and probably an intake. So I might have some parts to give away here shortly. So make sure to stay subscribed if there does turn out to be a giveaway. Other than that, she has been absolutely mint for 25,000 miles. No issues, no breakdowns, no nothing, no check engine lights. She has been an absolute peach. Gets me out into the middle of nowhere. Beautiful scenery like this. Carries the dirt bike around. Pulls the trailers around. I love this truck. And if y'all have anything you want to see done to the truck, or places taken, I guess, if that's a way to phrase it, let me know down in the comments below. I love the engagement, love reading the comments, love responding to them. So make sure to let me know. I want y'all to have a say in what happens to this beauty.